Hello, everybody. Melissa here. How is everybody doing this afternoon? So, today is the Belly But's birthday. Say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I'm 3 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Belly But's 3 years old. She is today. I walk on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, and I thought I would hop on and share some thoughts with you on what I'm thinking about at the moment, and actually a lot. I have 5 children total, and my last two that are 12 and 13, all the others are grown up. But, also with going through a separation or divorce 2 years ago, well, not divorced yet, but in the works. Valley, don't be running after that baby. No. It's just been a hard road to navigate, especially with my situation, with my housing. It's funny how in life we have one path that we think we're going down. We have a plan. We try to put some puzzle pieces together, or we're trying to put that puzzle together, and then all of a sudden you lose a few pieces, right? And you're searching everywhere and you just can't find them. It's been like that financially for me, especially with having 2 young girls that are a teen and preteen. They want everything. And so it's been very hard for me to save up. I had money saved up, but unfortunately things happened in life. Teeth got broke, cars get broke, tires need to be fixed. Life happens, right? And then before you know it, the money that you had saved up is pretty much no longer there. And so now it's like back to the drawing board, right? And then we got birthdays coming up. I got a party to plan for. So it's basically, at this point, living paycheck to paycheck while trying to tuck money away to get a place to live. And that was the whole point of me sleeping in my car and not getting hotel rooms, was to save up that money. Well, now that my daughters want to be with me, and so then here we are getting a hotel room here and there to spend the night with each other. Or last week ended up getting 2 nights in a row because we have heat in excess of 100 degrees and it's not safe for me to sleep in my car. So this is what I mean. So it's like you save and you save, and then life gets in the way, right? And then life happens, throws you all these curveballs, and now it's like back to the drawing board. But I think the most important thing is not getting discouraged. Because if you put your trust in the universe or God or whoever you want to say, Bella, stop pulling me. Stop. Come on. Let's go around this way and see if we can see the baby. Come on, let's go around this way. Not to get discouraged, because when you lower that vibration, then everything's going to be lower with it, and you're not going to be able to accomplish the things that you try to set out to accomplish. And it's great to have goals, but the hardest part is not getting frustrated when those plans and those goals took a left turn somewhere. You know what I mean? That's the hardest part. So it's like right now I'm just trying to stay focused on being able to provide on a daily basis what I need to provide for my girls. But I also don't want to feel like I'm going in circles like I was in the beginning of this journey. So what to do? Go back to the drawing board, right? Try to think of a new plan. I guess any money that's put away, any money that's saved up, come on baby, let's keep walking, is money saved up in the bank, regardless of how long it takes. And that's another thing, is not putting such a time limit or time frame on the expectations that we have or that we're trying to achieve, right? So with that said, it's been hard. I went from my last 2 kids, my 12 and my 13-year-old daughters, I got to stay home with them. And I got to stay home with them like the first 5-6 years of their life. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. I wouldn't have had it any other way. You develop a bond, a closeness like no other, You get to spend that quality time with your kids. But it's hard when you're married to somebody and, they tell you that they want to sorry, I had to pick up a feather, that they want to do all these things with you and have all these goals and these, and setting an example for your children. But it's like actions speak louder. So, being with somebody that lacked integrity was very, very hard. And it was, that chasing the tail of, every once in a while, something that was said would actually get done. But then all the other 12 times, well, we're just going to sweep those under the rug, right? I couldn't do it anymore. And so now it's just me trying to set this example, and I have to not look at the negative. I have to stay focused on the positive of how far I've come. I've got a nice job. I don't have a place yet, but I'm independent financially for the most part, even though I don't have a lot of money saved up. Good news is I'm going to be starting a 401k soon after I've been with my job for a year. Now I get to set up a 401k next week, so that'll be very nice. So that is something for me to look forward to doing. Like I said, we have to pick out the positive in the day and not the negative. If we sit there and we keep staying on that vibration, that negative vibration, then all we're going to bring forth is more negative vibrations. So it is so important. It is so important to keep those positive vibrations going. Come on, Bella. We're not going to sit here and drool at the puppy by the fence. The puppy doesn't want to come say hi. Well, then come on, let's go. But that's what's so hard is, now I miss my girls so freaking much. I went from being with them and tucking them in bed every single night for over a decade, and I had to be the one to walk away from the situation, and it was so hard, and it was so hard being with somebody that constantly thought you were lying to them, or you had a hard time expressing yourself because they didn't make you feel safe. And that's what's so important that I've learned, is that safety is key first. Whether you're trying to raise kids, animals, in a marriage, it is so important to make each other feel safe and to feel validated, to feel that what you're saying matters, right? And not just constantly talked over or talked upon or told what to do. That's not a fair relationship. And so I'm trying my hardest to not just teach, but show my kids what integrity is. Show them that if you say you're going to do something, you do it, right? Or how about we just don't say it at all and we just do it? How about we just do that? That's the best thing, is to move in silence. People don't talk about that enough, about that it's the best surprise in the world when you have somebody that you love accomplish something or do something, and they didn't even have to say a word. They just do. They just are. That's who they are. They're integral. They walk with integrity. They hold their head high. They are what they say they are. Like they show it. Bella, let's go. Come on. I don't know why you're obsessing over this one dog so much. We can't go in there. And you make me so aggravated because you pull me and you hurt me. That's not a walk. That's not a walk. That's a pull. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Same thing with the dog. And being in a household where you're living with in-laws also, and the vibration is so low. It's so low. And everybody's constantly arguing and bickering, and everybody's on defense all the time. That's no way to live. People don't feel safe like that. People don't feel validated like that, because if they did, then they wouldn't have to react. They would just express themselves freely, knowing it's safe to express themselves freely, not having to rush in every single point because they want to be heard, because they're never heard. They're never truly heard. They're always dismissed. So that's what I want to say, is that it's very important not to dismiss our children, regardless of their age. It is super important to validate their feelings, to make them feel safe. 4 days out of the week I'm at work. I'm a living caregiver, and then the other 3 I'm with my daughters. And you know what we do right now? Literally from like 9 o'clock in the morning till probably 9 o'clock at night, we hang out. We go to the park, we get lunch, we just have picnics, hang out outside, walk the dog. I just love to be around them. I know I have had trouble with setting up boundaries with my kids. I know I've overspoiled my last 2 kids because of the guilt that I led from my oldest 3 kids. The guilt that I had of being in toxic relationships. And, it is so wonderful to finally say in my life that I broke that toxic cycle. I broke that toxic cycle of toxic relationships, and for the first time, I am independent. I just had to pause my phone right now. My daughter just bossed me around. I don't like that. I don't like when they do that. But listen, people, I have to go. It was nice chatting with you. Don't lead out of guilt. Make sure you lead out of integrity and move in silence. And I love you, and have a beautiful and blessed day.